How did you deal with a jealous sibling? Growing up with my brother Ethan, 2 years my senior, I felt the constant weight of comparison. It wasn't my fault I got better grades or that Mom's face lit up when I showed her my report card. "Look at Sarah, always bringing home A's," Mom would say, her voice saturated with pride. "Why can't you try harder like your sister?" I'd see Ethan's jaw clench, his eyes darkening. I learned to hide my achievements, stuffing awards into my backpack until I could secretly add them to the box under my bed. By high school, the divide between us had grown into a canyon. Ethan barely spoke to me, and when he did, his words were laced with resentment. "Must be nice being perfect," he'd mutter when I'd come home from debate team victories. I wanted to scream, "I'm not perfect. I'm drowning in anxiety." I cry myself to sleep sometimes, but I stayed silent, preserving the fragile peace of our home. The breaking point came during my senior year. I'd been accepted to Cornell with a partial scholarship, my dream school. When the letter arrived, Mom threw an impromptu celebration dinner. To Sarah, Dad toasted, the first in our family to attend an Ivy League. I watched Ethan push back from the table, his chair scraping against the floor. The sound of the front door slamming echoed through our silent dining room. "He'll get over it," Mom said dismissively, but the knot in my stomach tightened. Later that night, I found my Cornell acceptance letter torn to shreds on my bed. Something in me snapped. I stormed into Ethan's room without knocking. "What is wrong with you?" I shouted, throwing the shredded paper at him. He looked up from his computer, eyes red-rimmed. "What's wrong with me? That's rich. What's wrong is living in your shadow my entire life. I never asked for any of this." My voice cracked. "Do you know how many times I've deliberately done worse on tests so you wouldn't look bad? How many awards I've hidden?" Ethan's expression shifted from anger to confusion. "What are you talking about? I got a 98 on Sanderson's midterm last year, but I erased answers to get an 85 because I heard Mom comparing our grades again." The confession tumbled out. "I turned down the lead in the school play because you didn't get cast. I've been making myself smaller my entire life for you." Silence filled the room as Ethan stared at me. For the first time, I saw something besides resentment in his eyes. Surprise, then something like guilt. "Why would you do that?" he asked quietly. "Because you're my brother and I love you." My voice dropped to a whisper. "And I'm so tired of being loved for my achievements instead of who I am." I didn't expect what happened next. Ethan started crying, actually crying, something I hadn't seen since we were kids. "I thought you loved being the favorite," he said between ragged breaths. "I hate it," I admitted. "It feels like conditional love." That night changed us. Ethan helped me tape my acceptance letter back together. We stayed up until 3 a.m. talking, really talking, for the first time in years. The jealousy didn't disappear overnight. Real life isn't that simple, but we made a pact to be honest with each other. Ethan started therapy, something he'd resisted for years. I stopped dimming my light, but became more conscious of creating space for his to shine too. Last month, 5 years after that night, Ethan was the one who threw me a party when I finished my master's program. As he handed me a gift, a framed photo of us as kids, arms around each other, he whispered, "I'm proud of you, sis. Always have been, even when I couldn't say it."